will have impact on. And that's a long-term, maybe you guys can ask the staff to ask, what year was that arena village built, and what year was that city required detention pond constructed? And the reason I ask this is you see by the plans, they intend to put in a underground water detention area. Now there's one across the street already at the high school where Ramey's school used to be. Where an elementary school used to be. And there's one up on Rocher Hill to the south. So north and south, there are already those kinds of things done. I have no idea how you clean one out after enough debris gets in there, enough silt runs in there. I don't know what will happen in the future. I don't know how long those things last. I did get to see the inside of the construction of the ones that are in our neighborhood. But this is a very significant place for water to come from all directions. From the west, from the north, and the south. You have water coming together from various streams, some of them underground. And there are springs all along the stream that runs southeast from there, which is the original town branch. That's the town branch of the West Fork of the White River. And if you look at maps from 1935 or 45 or so forth, it was the town branch because that was the very edge of the city, the university campus. But now I notice we're using town branch for all of the stream, Cato Springs and the one that comes from out by the Walmart. It's just simply called town branch. But anyway, the point is that this is a place that was a small stream and it's spring fed from all directions. And I really was shocked when I got the idea suddenly looking at the little sign out there about for sale. You can't sell a city required detention pond, can you? But apparently that's not even been questioned. Apparently, I guess the people that are asking to do this addition to that area did not give up ownership when they put in the detention pond originally. I can't imagine just what happened. That's why I would like to hear some explanation of that so it would be clear to the public. Because things that are for safety, and particularly safety of homes that are built and have been in place. There's another one going in right now downstream from there, about 6-7 blocks. And the guy's got it built, it's got the foundation built right up to the edge of the it's what they call the floodplain on the floodplain map. But the back of that house will be right at that, because we know that area has had many floods across that, more than the floodplain that's listed. Temporarily, yes, because it's steep and it runs on out. But when you've got several hours of rain and it ends up being 6 inches or more in a few hours, it gets extremely deep and it's extremely dangerous. So I hope that will be looked at very carefully and more study than, than maybe has already been done. But I've just gotten to the point of wondering if it's worthwhile to come speak and miss my supper and all those things. So I'll leave it with you. I've enjoyed listening to all your discussions. You know, I don't care how a building looks. If I were an architect, I'd just be figuring out ways to see that it wouldn't blow away in a tornado, and it wouldn't come apart in an earthquake, and it was comfortable and livable and so forth. But gosh, I remember some of you guys were on the planning commission for quite a few years ago, and there would be just tiniest little details of buildings being discussed. And I'm thinking, who cares what color it is? I was wanting the gentleman a while ago to say he would paint murals on that door. We're doing that now in Fayetteville. We're also still getting rid of graffiti in Fayetteville. It was done by some extremely good artist on the back of the Bank of Fayetteville, for instance, a few years ago, and now down along the railroad. They clean it off in a new generation, but the new generation comes along and does the graffiti. It's not as good as the ones they had.
That's a fair point.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shepard. As always, I enjoy your comments. You're welcome to speak anytime. Is there anyone else that wants to speak to this item?
Tawana Chestnut, I am concerned about the additional outlet onto Indian Trail for the traffic flow.
Okay, yep, thank you.
Can I start over? I'm Tawana Chestnut. I am concerned about the additional outlet that's proposed from the Arena Village to be put on Indian Trail. I actually was living there when they built the original shopping center, so I've seen the transformation recently with putting the light there at Stadium Drive, with bringing all of the development for the view. Traffic is just unbelievable, and everyone wants to take a shortcut, including our finest police. Everyone cuts through at that light and goes through Indian Trail. And just recently, there was a pretty serious accident coming out of one of those entrances from that shopping center. The traffic there, there's a curve in there, and additional traffic would no longer, I don't believe, leave that to be a residential area. I understand that there's few houses on there, but we still have children, we still have families, and the safety, and then you go through the trouble of put the trail through there. Children ride through there on their bicycle, people run through there. Initially, the move was to clean up that area to get the homeless out. But since all of that traffic has cleared out, it's more than double with people that are actually utilizing the trail. And to put a driveway through there where that trail, I don't believe that it would be safe. I don't believe that it will be a residential area anymore. Not to mention the area on the corner where they're proposing building the development. I'm all for building development. I chose that area because I wanted to be close. But then you think about the actual traffic, things like on that corner there's a natural spring that's on there. Down the property on Indian Trail there's a natural spring. But when we did all of the development from initially the apartments from across from the view, and then you built the view, the engineering and the development for the water runoff was not done very good. I mean, that street literally the heavy rains that we used to get in the springtime would literally flood that ditch in that street. Nobody cared because most of the time it was trees in a wooded area. So we really need to think about that, and with the area that they're proposing, there is a drainage system that finally halfway works where the water can drain. And you're going to take it up to put a building there and then put a driveway through that too. Water literally runs down that street on a heavy rain. Not a flood, just a heavy rain on one side because there is no drainage there. But you're going to put more traffic through there. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to comment? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission. Mr. Chair. Mr. Brown.
I had a question for, I guess, staff on this, if I could. Is there a landscape plan that's been submitted for this development?
Yes, there is. Should be included within your packet. I think maybe Jonathan's going to try and find that now.
Okay.
The landscape drawings meet
good.
our requirements,
Okay,
as far as I
thank you.
understand.
Okay.